For decades, humans have been talking about this game and its stunning and impressive game design, even going so far as to call it a perfect game with 0% flaws. This game has only received praise over the years, which at first sounds impressive, but also very suspicious. Are they right about this game? Is it truly flawless? Is it a well-designed game? Is it the best game ever made? Well, let's put it to the ultimate test on the SephirothSword57 review show and see how it fares. Konnichiwa and yokoso everyone. I'm SephirothSword57, but you can call me Seph-sama. And today we're gonna be talking about Tetris. What am I even looking at? Blocks? If I wanted to play with blocks, I would have just turned on Minecraft instead. But I wouldn't do that either, because Minecraft sucks. Now, my first issue is that once you pick your level, the game abruptly starts without any instructions and throws you right into the game without a tutorial. How am I supposed to play this? A proper tutorial to go over the mechanics is standard and basic game design 101. And why is it so slow? This takes forever. How does anyone have the patience for this? I continue playing this slow, boring game, but after 10 minutes I got so bored that I just couldn't stand it anymore. How am I supposed to be motivated to keep playing a game about boring monochromatic baby blocks where nothing interesting happens? Which brings me to my next issue. Do you notice anything in this game that is missing, that is essential for a real gaming experience? Yes, this game has no story or characters whatsoever. How am I supposed to enjoy this if there's no characters to relate to? Am I supposed to relate to this square block over here? Now let's instead focus on something that is actually good and is a good comparison to Tetris. Let me introduce you to the Girls Panic series. This series is a staple of the classic arcade action puzzle genre that I played a lot during my last visit to Japan, and Japanese people love it. Compared to Tetris, this game is actually fun, since it's not slow and boring, and it has everything you would want from a puzzle game, and more. It is a very strategic game, in which the skill of the player determines if you will be able to finish the levels or not. Which you actually want to, because well, let me show you. You won't be disappointed. Kaneko knew how to give the players proper rewards for being good at the game, and if you clear a level 100%, you would be rewarded with a little private show from the female representing the level, complete with a little animation to spice things up a bit. What really baffles me is that Westerners refuse to talk about Girls Panic, and meanwhile Tetris gets to have their own competitions and tournaments. Yes, you heard me right. There are actual Tetris competitions where people compete against each other and people attend to watch it happen like it's a fighting game or something. These Tetris competitions are completely useless. It doesn't matter if you're the winner or the loser in these tournaments, because at the end of the day, you're still playing Tetris, which makes you a loser anyways. Anyway, before I keep playing this, I need to change this dreadful music before I have a headache. Oh, what's this?
You are my
Oh hell yeah! Let's get back to the game. Now, I played level 0 before, so let's see what level 1 is like. It's the exact same. How is this possible? How did they not notice that they accidentally put the same stage twice after each other? How has no one else commented on this? Well, let's take a look at the 8 other levels that are left. Maybe they will be... And they are all exactly the same. Of course. At this point, it's very clear that the creators behind Tetris have problems. And after doing some intense research, I found out some interesting little facts. Tetris is a game made by Communist Russia and was created to crush the Japanese arcade community, which is not surprising to read about since Communist Russia and Communist China have had a strong bond since the 1600s and would after that help Communist China many times in the years to come, like when Japan won the first Sino-Japanese war because China was too incompetent and corrupt, so they needed help from Communist Russia to force Japan to remove themselves from the Liaodong Peninsula. They would later form an alliance with the Chinese Communists and fight cowardly against the Japanese in the Second Sino-Japanese War. But their mindless hate towards the Japanese wouldn't end there. This hate continued in Communist China, which can be seen in Chinese media such as Bruce Lee movies, where all Japanese are hatefully and inaccurately portrayed as weird-looking evil men making troubles for the Chinese, even though in reality it's actually the other way around. As a side note, I would like to bring up that the characters that were supposed to be Japanese in this movie were actually played by Chinese people. Think about that for a bit. They also always made it look like Japanese martial arts is ineffective and that Chinese Kempo, also known as Kung Fu, is much better, to the point where one Chinese man is enough to hold off multiple well-trained Japanese martial artists on their own, while they made the Japanese martial artists look like a bunch of cowards who only fights in groups of 2 or more. This is of course also completely wrong, as everyone besides the Chinese knows that Kung Fu is completely useless in real fights and is nowhere near as effective as the superior martial arts from Japan. These Bruce Lee movies' goal isn't to be entertaining, but to further fuel the mindless hate the communist Chinese has for Japan, in order to get more haters. And since these movies were also popular with the easily impressionable and uneducated Americans, it spread the hate of the Japanese to the West, where they take the plot of these movies as fact. All communist China wants is for everyone to hate Japan. Bruce Lee is a racist, and if you watch Bruce Lee movies, then you're a racist too. Now let's talk about something you should watch instead. What do the movies Shichinin no Samurai, Yojimbo, and Kagemusha have in common? That's right, they were all directed by the subarashi and incredible legend of cinematography, Akira Kurosawa. His movies consist of immaculate artistic camera work, beautifully choreographed sword fighting, imaginative storytelling beyond belief, and is 100% free of racism towards the Japanese. Unfortunately, Kurosawa-san left us in the late 90s, which means that you young ones haven't been graced with his excellency in filmmaking. Which is why I'm telling you that after this video you should go and watch a Kurosawa movie. Any of them will do, as all of his movies are fantastic. And as a bonus, if you carefully study the martial art represented in his movies, you can incorporate the moves and styles to your own personal Japanese martial art journey. Thank you for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe for more content. Like the video, and I would like to know which your favorite Kurosawa movie is in the comments below. My movie is Yojimbo, which is also the best movie ever made. Sayonara, and I will see you in the next video, which will be very soon. Moshi mosh!